signifying honor, auspiciousness, and heartfelt hospitality. It represents fullness and prosperity in the spirit of reverence, sanctity, and the timeless values of Bharatiya tradition.
Om na karmana na prajayadhane na tyage naike amrutatvamanashuh parena nakam nihitam guhayam vibhrajade tadyatayo vishanti Vedanta Vijnana Sunishchitartha Sanyasa Yogadyataya Shuddha Sattva Aha Te Brahma Loke Tu Para Antakale Paramrutat Parimuchanti Sarve Dahram Vipapam Parame Eshma Bhutan Yat Pundarikam Puramadhya Saggastham Tatrapi Dahram Gaganam Vishokastasmin Yadantastadupasitavyam Yo Vedadau Swara Prokto Vedante Cha Pratisthitah Tasya Prakriti Nasya Yapparassa Maheshwaraha Om Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki.
We'll begin our session by offering flowers to the lamp, symbolizing our reverence, gratitude, devotion, and the offering of our hearts at the feet of the Guru. I request our esteemed dignitaries, Pujya Guruji Swami Chinmayananda, Professor Srinivasa Varakedi, Professor Manoj Kumar Arora, Professor Ramesh Patni, and Professor Gauri Maulika to kindly come forward to offer the flowers. I now invite Dr. Pramodini Rao, Campus Director, CVV CNPG Pune Campus, for the invocation prayer.
Sahana Vavatu, Sahanau Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Chinmayam Shiva Sadgurum Jagadishwaram Parameshwaram Manjunatha Maheshwaram Sandipani Puravasinam Deshikendra Jagatrayam Bhavasindhu Shoshanakaranam Deva Sadashivam Jagadishwaram Paramashraye Advitiyam Anantakoti Prabhakaram Pranavatmakam Ashutosha Dhurandharam Ajnanatimiranikruntanam Yatu Janani Milanam Yati Chinmayanandarupinam Dasamanasaranjanam Jagadishwaram Gurumashraye Jagadishwaram Paramashraye Jagadishwaram Gurumashraye.
Thank you, Dr. Pramodini ji, for the serene and soulful invocation prayer, which has already set the sacred and auspicious tone of this proceedings ahead. A warm and respectful welcome to everyone gathered here for the inaugural session of the 3-day International Conference on Spirituality, Education and Patriotism, contributions of Swami Chinmayananda and beyond, jointly organized by Chinmaya International Foundation, Chinmaya Vishwa Vidyapeeth, deemed to be university, and SIP Shodha Sansthan, with financial assistance from Central Sanskrit University, New Delhi, and Indian Council of Philosophical Research, New Delhi. We are deeply honored by the gracious presence of our esteemed dignitaries, revered Swamins, scholars and practitioners of Indian knowledge systems, admirers of the teachings of Gurudev, Swami Chinmayananda, deans, registrar, directors, faculty members, administrative staff, research scholars, students, and participants joining us from across India and around the world.
It's my honor and privilege to introduce our esteemed Vice Chancellor of Chinmaya Vishwa Vidyapeeth and President of this international conference, Professor Manoj Kumar Arora, a distinguished academician, researcher, and accomplished administrator. Professor Arora holds a doctoral degree in remote sensing from the Swansea University, UK, and has also served as a postdoctoral fellow in a NASA-sponsored project at Syracuse University, USA. His exemplary leadership and multidisciplinary contributions continue to inspire the academic community. May I now respectfully invite the President of the conference, Professor Manoj Kumar Arora, to deliver the welcome address.
Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha, Hari Om, Pranams, Pujya Guruji Swami Chinmayananda ji, Professor Srinivas Vakhere ji, Vice Chancellor Central Sanskrit University, distinguished speakers and delegates from India and abroad, respected Swamins and Brahmacharins, trustees of Chinmaya Mission, conveners and co-conveners of the conference, faculty, staff, and students of CVV, CIF, and CIF Shodha Sansthan, teachers from Chinmaya Vidyalayas, all the guests and members of the media. At the outset, let me pay my homage to Pujya Gurudev ji, with whose blessings we have gathered here today. The whole environment is filled with joy, blissfulness, and happiness as we inaugurate a very special international conference on spirituality, education, and patriotism, contributions of Swami Chinmayananda and beyond Chinmaya 75. A profound welcome to Pujya Guruji, who has found time to be with us today and to shower his blessings on us. I also offer hearty welcome to Professor Srinivas Vakhere ji and all those who are present today in our pious and serene campus. This is not just a conference, but a gathering of Chinmaya family from various parts of Bharat and around the globe. During the next 3 days, we shall be deliberating on spirituality, education, and patriotism from the eyes of Pujya Gurudev ji. In the words of Pujya Gurudev, quote, "Spirituality is the most intelligent way of living your life. It is not merely knowing what you want, but also understanding what you don't need," unquote. He was also very true in saying, quote, "Until we discover this spiritual center in ourselves, the God in us, we will be confused, miserable, unsatisfied, and disturbed," unquote. Pujya Gurudev ji believed the goal of education is to cultivate character and enterprise in individuals to foster societal well-being and harmony. He said, quote, education is not merely the acquisition of knowledge, but also the cultivation of the right attitude, unquote. He maintained that India's core is spirituality and stated, quote, education without spiritual understanding is like water all around us but unfit to drink, unquote. You would have also heard stories about his patriotism. He said, quote, patriotism is the first step to universalism. Love of one's own nation in time leads to cosmic love or the love of God, unquote. He placed the responsibility for India's credibility on youth, encouraging them to be strong pillars of Bharat. We at CVV are trying our best to nurture the students who could become pillars of Bharat and earn name and fame not only in Bharat but around the globe. It is with this intent, about 10 years ago, we conceived Chinmaya Vishwa Vidyapeeth, CVV, which is the first university in India that is based on an educational philosophy that harmoniously integrates India's timeless wisdom with contemporary knowledge systems. We view education as a process that shapes not only professional and technical competence, but also character, clarity, and purpose. We teach them how they can use the principles of Indian knowledge, Indian heritage, and Indian ethos to solve real-world problems. I may say a few sentences on that. When we talk to them about hydrology in Yajurveda, they understand earlier systems of water management. When we expose them to teachings of Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, and Arthashastra, they learn leadership skills, economics, crisis management, strategy, corporate governance in the contemporary world. We give them examples of botany and Ayurveda and psychology from the Mahabharata. We teach them Sanskrit and Panini grammar, which has applications in modern-day artificial intelligence, natural language processing, and computational efficiency. Faculty members teach the courses using a unique instructional approach, emphasis on anubhuti, experience, which people now call experiential learning, emphasis on anusthana, that means practice, meaning learning by solving problems within the framework of live projects. Our students not only learn inside and outside the classrooms through anubhuti and anusthana, but they also learn through anusandhan, research, when they work on cutting-edge research problems with faculty members whom we call acharyas. Our faculty members are involved in integrating research on IKS, Indian Knowledge System, with science and technology to provide solutions to modern-day challenges and problems. Just a brief of our own university. CVV is proud to host this unique conference on our premises. I'm sure there will be a lot of learning, exchange of ideas, and discussions around the theme of the conference. I congratulate the whole team in giving shape to this conference and bringing in a galaxy of experts, academics, teachers, and students under one umbrella. And this looks like an umbrella as well. You have done a really good job. So let us give them a big round of applause to the team from CVV, team from CIF, and the team from CIF Shodha Sansthan. You are indeed the heroes of this conference. Together, let us continue to uphold the Chinmaya vision and work towards an education that empowers the mind, dignifies the heart, and encourages purposeful action. Pranam. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear sir, for welcoming everyone to the conference. It is with immense pleasure that I introduce Professor Gauri Mauliga, Academic Director of Chinmaya International Foundation and convener of this international conference. Being a distinguished scholar and a pioneering force in the field of Indian knowledge systems, Gauriji has been marking remarkable contributions through her lectures, research, mentorship, and dedicated efforts to promote authentic knowledge rooted in Bharatiya intellectual tradition. May I now request Gauriji to present the vision and framework of this international conference.
हरि ओम् प्रणम्यादौ वाणी विनायकौ स्मृत्वा च सौहार्दभावं गुरूणाम् अभ्यागतेभ्यः अतिथिभ्यश्च स्वागतमद्य व्याह्रियते मयात्र। या देवी सितपङ्कजासनवरासीनाक्षमालाकरा वीणा झङ्कृति नष्टसर्वजडता स्मेरप्रफुल्लानना या वाक्यार्थपदप्रमाणविभवा या सर्वभाषात्मिका तां वाचामधिदेवतां भगवतीं वन्दे सदा भारतीं। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। अयि वेदिकायां विराजमानाः पूज्यपादाः तेजोमयानन्दस्वामिनः तेजसा अहिमांशुरिव दीपयन् चेतसा प्रेमार्द्रः शीतांशुरिव आह्लादयन्, who, despite having the light and heat of knowledge, being Tejomaya, the name, is as cool as moon. अस्याः अन्ताराष्ट्रीय संगोष्ठ्याः विशिष्ट अतिथिवर्याः guest of this inaugural function, Professor Srinivas Varakhedi, श्रियः निवासः सन्नपि बहुभाषावैशारद्यात् वाणीविलासैव भासते सः. Honorable Vice Chancellor of Central Sanskrit University and a go-to person at all times. Chinmaya Vishwa Vidyapeethasya Dhurandharah Kulapatihi Professor Manoj Kumar Arora Mahodayah, Honorable Vice Chancellor of CVV, Ramesh Patni Sahasamanvayakah, co-convener of this international conference, Brahmachari Veda Chaitanya, Sanyojakah, Sarvesham Krite, Ananyaika Sharanascha, coordinator and single point of contact of this conference. Chinmaya Mission Sansthayaha Swaminaha, Swaminyaha, Brahmacharinaha, Brahmacharinyah, trustees of Chinmaya Mission, SIF, CVV and SIF-SS, and the distinguished scholars from India and abroad, the panelists, aspiring paper presenters, enthusiastic delegates, top management of SIF, CVV and SIF-SS, members of working committee and Chinmaya Vidyalaya teachers, volunteers, students and staff. I am most privileged to present before this large and august gathering a preamble of this very special international conference starting on this auspicious day on the 111th Jayanti of Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda. Vishwavandya Chinmayananda, the International Conference on Spirituality, Education and Patriotism, contribution of Swami Chinmayananda and beyond, scheduled from today at Chinmaya Vishwa Vidyapeeth, Onakkoor campus, is organized jointly by CVV, SIF and SIF-SS. This is a part of the commemoration of the 75th year, the Amrita Mahotsava of Chinmaya Mission worldwide. It is celebrated. The conference seeks to provide an interdisciplinary academic platform for critical inquiry into the multifaceted contributions of Swami Chinmayananda 1916 to 1993. Situated in Kerala, a region historically associated with India's profound philosophical traditions and the legacy of Adi Shankaracharya, Adi Shankara Nilayam, the conference draws inspiration from a lineage of knowledge that integrates metaphysical inquiry with lived experience. In the 20th century, Swami Chinmayananda emerged as a pivotal figure in re-articulating India's spiritual and cultural heritage for a global audience. While firmly grounded in Advaita Vedanta, his contributions extended significantly into the domains of education, culture, social transformation, and national consciousness. Swami Chinmayananda's approach reflects the classical Indian ideal of knowledge as means of holistic human development expressed in the dictum Sa Vidya Ya Vimuktaye. That alone is knowledge which liberates. His educational vision emphasized value-based learning, character formation, and the integration of intellectual, emotional, and ethical dimensions of the human personality. This vision finds institutional expression in various initiatives of the Chinmaya mission, like the Chinmaya Vision Program, CVP, rooted in the Panchakosha Siddhanta, and this includes the formal educational frameworks that resonate with the objectives of the National Education Policy, NEP 2020, particularly in integrating Indian knowledge systems, IKS, with contemporary disciplines. Hundreds of Chinmaya Vidyalayas, technical institutes, global research academia, the SIF, and the SIF Shodha Sansthan, and the Chinmaya Vishwa Vidyapeeth all engage in man-making because nation is built in classrooms. Swami Chinmayananda played a crucial role in revitalizing India's civilizational heritage by rendering scriptural wisdom accessible and relevant to modern society. His method of Jnana Yajna, the systematic dissemination of knowledge, embodied the principle Nahi Jnanena Sadrusham Pavitram Iha Vidyate. Verily, there is nothing as purifying as knowledge. This approach contributed to a renewed cultural self-awareness and fostered an informed engagement with tradition across diverse sections of society, both within India and internationally. Revival of temples and temple processes by Swami Chinmayananda, and being a founder member of Vishwa Hindu Parishad, has led this to cultural transformation of Bharat. His articulation of patriotism was deeply rooted in ethical responsibility and collective welfare, aligning with the classical ideal Janani Janmabhumischa Swargadapi Gariyasi. For Swami Chinmayananda, nation building was intrinsically linked to individual transformation and social commitment. This was the genesis of CORD, the Chinmaya Organization for Rural Development, through various activities and initiatives, educational programs, and women empowerment efforts. The Chinmaya Movement has contributed to societal upliftment and national integration, reflecting the broader vision of Loka Sangraha. For bringing his vision that Chinmaya mission build a living bridge between the past and the present, East and the West, science and spirituality, and Pandit and public, it was decided to prepare Hindu chaplains who can serve the global Hindu diaspora and effectively represent and advocate for Hinduism. Gurudev consistently urged Chinmaya mission sevaks to integrate into Western society without losing the depth of the Hindu teachings. In the 1980s, he strongly encouraged the Indian diaspora in the United States to become citizens, participate in Western culture and civic life, and ensure that the Hindu voice remained visible and relevant. I am grateful to Vilasini ji for sending this short note to me yesterday. We miss you here, Vilasini. Thus, the vision didn't just remain on walls, but was actualized through the spiritual care course run by Chinmaya International Foundation. Isn't it philosophy and spirituality in practice? The conference, therefore, seeks to examine these interconnected domains through 6 thematic categories: philosophy, spirituality, education, society, patriotism, and culture. It aims to facilitate rigorous academic dialogue, promote interdisciplinary research, and encourage engagement with Indian knowledge traditions as dynamic and contextually relevant framework. In alignment with the inclusive and universal outlook of Indian thought, the conference is guided by the ideal Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and aspires to contribute to the development of a holistic paradigm of knowledge that integrates inner development with social responsibility, thereby addressing contemporary global challenges. We would like to create a course, Swami Chinmayananda Studies. This will be the tribute, our tribute to the great visionary Swami Chinmayananda. The conference will have deliberations on his contribution to humanity at large. If any one of you, it's an open appeal to everyone present here, that if you want to contribute in any way by researching in Chinmayananda's contribution to humanity, you are most welcome. And you can send your articles to the organizing committee even after the conference. O Gurudev, we know our responsibility is to serve as a courageous and disciplined army, equipped with the Bhagavad Gita, Viveka Chudamani, and the Manual of Self-Unfoldment. May your grace and blessings enable us to fulfill your mission of transforming Indians to transform India. I'll conclude with a Sanskrit verse. Yashasa bhuvi rajantam vandeham chinmayam gurum. Yashasa bhuvi rajantam vandeham chinmayam gurum. Yo gita saramapayayat suktya vedamrita nibhaya. Hari Om, thank you so much.
Thank you, Gauriji, for setting up the context of the conference. It's my privilege to introduce Professor Srinivasa Varaketi, an eminent scholar, distinguished academic administrator, and one of the foremost contributors to Sanskrit studies and computational linguistics in India. Currently serving as the Vice Chancellor of Central Sanskrit University, New Delhi, he has over 3 decades of experience in teaching, research, and institutional leadership. A scholar of Nyaya with a PhD, Professor Varaketi has previously served as Vice Chancellor of several prestigious universities, including Kavi Kulaguru Kalidas Sanskrit University, Gondwana University, and Karnataka Sanskrit University. His pioneering work bridges Sanskrit knowledge systems with artificial intelligence, natural language processing, and digital humanities. A prolific author and editor, he has authored 16 books, edited over 100 scholarly works, guided numerous researches, and delivered keynote addresses at more than 200 national and international academic platforms. Professor Varaketi is the recipient of several distinguished honors, including the Maharshi Badarayan Vyasamman conferred by the President of India, along with multiple honorary D.Litt degrees and national awards recognizing his exceptional contribution to Sanskrit scholarship and Bharatiya Jnana Parampara. We are deeply honored to have such an illustrious scholar and visionary leader with us today. We will first felicitate our chief guest before listening to his words. As a token of love and honor, and on behalf of everyone present here, I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor of CVV to felicitate the chief guest of the International Conference. Now, I invite Professor Srinivasa Varaketi to deliver the inaugural address.
भवति यदनुभावात् एडमूकोऽपि वाग्मी जडमतिरपि जन्तुर्जायते प्राज्ञमौलिः सकलवचनचेतो देवता भारती सा मम वचसि निधत्तां सन्निधिं मानसे च। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। क्षेत्राधिदैवं भगवन्तं आचार्यं शंकरं नमस्कृत्य प्रातस्मरणीयानां स्वामी चिन्मयानन्दानां स्वरूपमपि मनसि निधाय वेद्यान् समुपस्थितान् पूज्यान् गुरुपादान् स्वामी तेजोमयानंद महाराजान् प्रणमामि। तथैव उपस्थितान् सर्वानपि विद्वद्वरेण्यान् स्वामिपादांश्च यथायथं प्रणम्य आंग्लभाषया मदीयां वाचम् आरभे। The most revered His Holiness Swami Tejomayanand Ji Maharaj, my Dandavat pranams in your holy feet. Respected Sant Samaj, Shri Swami Advaita Ji, Swami Sharadanand Ji, Swami Ramakrishnanand Ji, Narasimhanand Ji, and others. Distinguished scholars, Acharya Maulikar, Gauri Amma. We had Girvani Amma in our times. Again I remember, now Gauri Amma is here. Acharya Mahadevan Ji, Professor Murali Madhavan Ji, Professor Nagaraj Ji, Srimati Sahana Singh, Acharya Sampadanand Ji, Sri Radhakrishnan Pillai, Acharya Sudarshan Ji, on dais, Kulaguru Acharya Manoj Kumar Arora Ji, Professor Ramesh Ji, exemplary educationists, delegates, and dear sadhakas. I offer my respectful pranamas to this august gathering assembled for the conference on spirituality, education, and patriotism, contribution of Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda Ji and beyond. While thanking the organizers for making me part of this historical event, Jnana Yajna, I fondly cherish the wonderful days that I spent here in Adi Shankara Nilayam with Pujya Swami Advaita Ji and Mahadevan Ji and others. Those days we continuously deliberated on Chinmaya Vishwa Vidyapeeth, starting from its conception to inception, from inception to manifestation and complete formation. In those days, the term IKS was not known. The CVV became, Chinmaya Vishwa Vidyapeeth became the Paryaya Pada for Indic knowledge tradition. All began before the NEP 2020. NEP 2020 today advocates for integration of IKS into education, but CVV was formed before that idea. Today, I am happy to stand and speak before you on the campus of Chinmaya Vishwa Vidyapeeth. This is my first visit to this campus. Gurudev's Sankalpa has become a reality in the form of CVV. Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda ji stands among the greatest modern Bhashyakaras of the Bhagavad Gita and Vedanta. The Shrutis, Sutras and Smritis reveal the eternal truth. His interpretations cater the need of the time in reality. Through his discourses, Jnana Yajnas and educational institutions, he transformed the timeless wisdom of India into a living force for Yuga Dharma. One of the profound visions of Swami Chinmayananda ji found eloquent expression in his statement regarding the role of Chinmaya International Foundation, that it should become a bridge between East and West, past and present, spirituality and science, and Pandit and public. This statement beautifully captures the essence of Gurudev's philosophy of balanced and integrated living. He envisioned a harmonious synthesis in which ancient wisdom provides ethical direction, inner stability, and spiritual insight, while modern science and technology contribute to material progress, innovation, and social welfare. In a deeper philosophical sense, the East represents Vidya, the highest wisdom that leads to self-knowledge and liberation, while the West symbolizes the Avidya, the empirical and material knowledge necessary for the worldly life and advancement. Together, Vidyancha Avidyancha Yastadveda Ubhayam Saha. Together, they reflect the Upanishadic ideal. The both dimensions of knowledge are essential for complete human development, for Abhyudaya. Similarly, the past signifies Smriti Parampara, the living tradition of inherited wisdom, scriptures, and pramanas. Our Smriti Parampara is called as Pramana Parampara, whereas the present represents Anubhava, Anubhuti, the direct experience gained through Prayoga. We should have combination of Pramana and Prayoga, the application and practices. Gurudev never viewed tradition as static, as isolated. Rather, he saw it as a dynamic force that must continuously interact with the contemporary realities. The expression spirituality and science also reflects the profound philosophical balance. Spirituality refers to Adhyatma Jnana, Atma Vijnana, the science of the self, inner consciousness, while science represents Buddhi Vijnana, Buddhi, intellect, the analytical and intellectual exploration of the external world. Gurudev envisioned a civilization where these two streams enrich one another rather than remain in conflict. There is no conflict between spirituality and science as we see today. This Triveni Sangama, I call it Triveni Sangama, the spirit of today's conference. Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda ji envisioned education as a synthesis of spirituality and modernity, where ancient wisdom and contemporary knowledge complement each other for the holistic development of humanity. He firmly believed in spirituality should not remain confined to monasteries and rituals, but it must actively guide modern life, education, science, leadership, and social responsibility. Chinmaya Mission itself stands as a living embodiment of this vision. As we celebrate 75th year of the mission, we celebrate not merely an institution, but an enduring idea, a wonderful notion, exemplary concept that has guided humanity in diverse dimensions. Education with spirituality, knowledge with character, personality with patriotism. In this context, Shikshavalli of Taittiriya Upanishad offers a profound educational framework. Atha Shiksham Vyakhyasyaamaha Varnaha Swaraha Matra Balam Sama Santanaha Ityukta Shikshadhyayaha. This Upanishadic simple statement that offers a profound contemporary reading of the famous passage from the Taittiriya Upanishad, Varnaha, Swaraha, Matra, Balam, Swama, Santana. There are 6 elements. It beautifully transforms a phonetic description of Vedic learning into a holistic philosophy of education. This is my own interpretation today I am offering here. The ancient Indian vision for education was never confined merely to literacy or information transfer. In the Upanishad tradition, education was understood as a complete refinement of human existence. The mantra, Varna, Swaraha, Matra, Balam, Sama, Santanaha describes the essential disciplines of learning. In the contemporary world, education has increasingly been reduced to Varna, letters. Today I am doctor of letters. I am not a knowledgeable person. A doctor who becomes the doctor, he is doctor of letters. He is not doctor of Swara. He is not doctor of Matra. He is not doctor of Santana. Why? Letters, symbols and literacy, the mechanical acquisition of information, literacy alone has become the goal of educational systems. Varna, it is confined to Varna, Akshara, Akshara Jnana. The Upanishadic seers envisioned education as a multi-dimensional process of human evolution. The 6 elements listed in this mantra explore the human existence. How? Varna represents Akshara, literacy, the foundational ability to read, write, communicate, manipulate. Even today's AI skill is manipulation of symbols, not the understanding of the knowledge. It is not knowledge, it is just manipulation of symbols. Swara. Swara signifies Swabhava. Swayam Rajateti Swaraha. Swara represents Swabhava, the inner nature of the self. The refinement of inner qualities, samskaras, that shape the character and personality. This is the core of a human being. Swara means Swabhava. Swara means the inner character. The sanskara should grow should elevate the Swabhava. This is second element. The third element, Matra. Matra means Mana, Pramana, knowledge. Matra represents Vidya, the practical and intellectual knowledge necessary for the worldly life, responsible participation in society, domain knowledge that we consider today. Learning acquired through the theory and practice is called Vidya. That is Matra. The third level is Vidya level, Matra. The fourth element is Balam. Balam signifies Dharma, the moral and ethical strength that gives integrity, courage, and inner power to an individual that sustains the whole universe. This is nothing but avidya. Vidyancha, avidyancha, Matra and Balam. Vidyancha, avidyancha, yastadveda upayam saha. This is what reflected here, Matra and Balam. The fourth element is Sama. Sama represents harmony, balance, aesthetics, which is nothing but yoga, which brings beauty, emotional refinement, rasa into life, samatvam into life, balance into life. This is what Sama. The Santana, Samhita signifies continuity, transcendence, and the higher state of existence emerging from Adhyatma or spirituality. So, thus, true education must integrate Akshara, Varna, literacy, Samskara, which is Shiksha, what is that? Swara, and Vidya, Matra, Bala, Dharma, Sama, Yoga, Santana, Adhyatma. Only such integrated approach can produce not merely skilled individuals but complete human beings. This interpretation aligns remarkably well with the spirit of Bhagavad Gita, the holistic educational vision embedded in the Indian knowledge tradition. Education begins with Akshara, matures with Samskara, Vidya gains the strength through Dharma, attains harmony through Yoga, culminates in Adhyatma. This is the essence of this conference. This brief yet profound formulation reflects the integrated nature of Indian education. Learning was not fragmented and mechanical. It involved precision, discipline, harmony, continuity, intellectual rigor, aesthetic sensitivity, and inner refinement. In our student days, the people used to tell us, I was in a Gurukula, people used to tell us, all these Gurukulas should become modernized, they should be modernized, they are out of touch, therefore modernize these Gurukula systems. But today, the whole world has understood modern education should be Gurukulized. Gurukulization of modern education is a need of the hour. Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda ji revived this very spirit in the modern context. He emphasized that scientific and technological advancement alone cannot ensure the peace, harmony, and meaningful progress unless supported by the ethical wisdom and spiritual maturity. Likewise, spirituality divorced from contemporary realities cannot effectively address the challenges of modern society. Therefore, he advocated an integrated educational vision that harmonizes spirituality with science, knowledge with wisdom, excellence with ethics, patriotism with the universal human values, and professional competence with inner character. His famous vision that educational and spiritual institutions should become a bridge between East and West, past and present, and spirituality science reflect this synthesis beautifully. Through his mission arms, Chinmaya Vidyalayas, Balavihars, youth movements, Vedanta courses and publications, today Chinmaya Vishwa Vidyapeeth, he attempted to create individuals who are intellectually competent, emotionally balanced, culturally rooted, spiritually aware, and socially responsible. In today's world, where humanity faces stress, ecological imbalance, ethical confusion, excessive materialism, Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda's vision of integrated education becomes deeply relevant. Thus, spirituality in modern context, according to Gurudev, is not withdrawal from life, but the art of living with balance and clarity and purpose. It is not expressed through karma sannyasa, complete withdrawal, but it is expressed through karma yoga, balanced actions. Ancient declaration, Savidya ya vimuktaye, true education is that which liberates, became central to his educational vision. Liberation is not from earthly life, but from all our blemishes, incompleteness, bondages that captivate us in a fearful environment. Gurudev's balanced view of life also appears in his understanding of patriotism. He did not reduce the patriotism to slogans or emotional excitement. For him, love for the nation meant disciplined work, ethical conduct, respect for cultural heritage, and contribution to collective welfare. This integrated vision is deeply rooted in Indian educational tradition itself. Shiksha Valli again presents Satyam Vada, Dharmam Chara, Swadhyayan Ma Pramadaha. The most fundamental two wheels of life are speech and act. The speech should align with the truth. that refines our mind and intellect. The act defines our character. This should align with dharma. The third important element is swadhyaya, the source of knowledge. Our civilization is knowledge civilization. This is most sacred duty for us. Further, Upanishad says, Matra Devo Bhava, Pitra Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, Atithi Devo Bhava. Traditionally, these injunctions emphasize reverence towards the fundamental relationships of human life. Yet, in a broader civilization sense, they also convey a universal vision for human existence. How? Here, mother may be understood as Mother Earth, Prakriti. Prakriti herself. Mother means Prakriti herself. Upanishadic vision teaches us to revere nature not merely as a source of consumption, but sacred manifestation of life. Ecological sensitivity, environmental responsibility, and harmony with the nature emerge naturally from this spiritual outlook. The father, Pitra Devo Bhava, father symbolizes the nation, Desha Bhakti, Desha. Just as a father protects, nurtures, guides, nation sustains collective identity and cultural continuity. Therefore, Upanishadic spirit inspires Desha Bhakti, devotion and responsibility toward the nation, not the narrow political sense, but as sacred duty toward a larger collective life. Acharya represents the Guru Parampara, Rishi Parampara, the timeless lineage of wisdom that has preserved our knowledge, values and spiritual insight across the generations. Reverence towards the teacher is therefore reverence towards the entire tradition of enlightened knowledge and shapes civilization. Atithi extends beyond the literal sense, guest. It symbolizes humanity at large and an even wider sense, all living being, because all living beings enter in our life as guests. Even our all relations. Today I am guest. You are also guest. So all of us are guests to someone else, and he is guest to us because they are entering into our life with a beautiful, akriti, akara. We don't know when somebody enters into our life. He is guest. He is atithi. Therefore, Upanishadic worldview calls upon us to cultivate respect and compassion coexistent toward every form of life. Such expansive interpretation becomes possible only through the Adhyatma Drishti, the spiritual vision of life. It is the spiritual worldview that transforms relationships into reverence, society into service, patriotism into sacred duty, coexistence into compassion. In this vision, spirituality is not an escape from life, but it is the very foundation of ecological harmony, national responsibility, cultural continuity, and universal brotherhood. Bhagavad Gita doctrine, Loka Sangraha, is deeply influenced Pujya Gurudev. Yadyadacharati Shreshtaha Tatta Devetarojanaha. Thus, he believed that teachers, intellectuals, administrators, and spiritual leaders must become role models. Society rises when leadership is rooted in character and selflessness. Today, we lack this idea in our education system. No moral responsibility is taken by institutions, neither by individuals. Under the shelter of secularism, governments are blind. The educational institutions have become big malls where the knowledge is sold, and you can the student is a customer. No wonder we are heading towards a path. Andhe naiva niyamana yathantaha. Blind is leading the blind folk. In contrast, Sri Gurudev was a visionary who led the true education. Today, Chinmaya Vishwa Vidyapeeth stands for that vision. Another important dimension of his philosophy was his ability to communicate spirituality significantly and scientifically and rationally. He never taught spirituality in a ritual manner. He presented Vedanta not as a blind belief, but as a sympathetic systematic inquiry into human consciousness and experience. This enabled modern youth, professionals, scientists to engage meaningfully with Indian wisdom. The moral clarity formed foundation of Gurudev's approach to education and national life. At the end, I would conclude, in his talks, Gurudev warned that external prosperity without inner harmony would ultimately lead to stress, moral decline. Therefore, he advocates a civilizational combines Abhyudaya and Nishreyasa should go together. Today, we are aspiring for Abhyudaya, but not for Nishreyasa. This harmonizes all dvandvas, scientific progress with ethical wisdom, economic growth with compassion, freedom with responsibility, individual success with social harmony. Atmano mokshaya jagadhitaya cha. The one's own liberation for the welfare of the world. As we deliberate in this conference, may we discover this integrated vision of life where spirituality humanizes education, education strengthens the individual, national and civilizational character, and patriotism becomes enlightened responsibility. Integration of AI, artificial intelligence, with adhyatmic intelligence, AI with AI. I conclude with the Upanishadic prayer, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, lead us from darkness to light. May the life and teachings of Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda continue to guide our education system, culture, civilization, national life towards harmony, wisdom, enlightened progress, and finally to moksha. Nasruddin was searching for a key. He was searching for his key in the front yard of his house. And people came and people wanted to help him. It was dark. Whole day they searched. Then they did not get the key. The people asked him, where you lost the key? Let us go and search there. Then he said, not this place. In the backyard of home, I have lost my key. Then why you are searching here? There was the light here, therefore I am searching here. Today, we are searching all our spiritual knowledge and wisdom and spirituality in AI. AI is not going to help us. We should go back to our Shrutis, Smritis, and life of our Gurudev like great saints. Thank you very much. Dhanyavada.
Thank you, dear Professor. We sincerely thank you for your insightful, inspiring words. As you all know, we know that today is a very special day because of various reasons. We have our Puja Swamiji here, Guruji with us. We have our chief guests, dignitaries. All of us are together to share, learn more details together. And along with that, today we have a special event, that is the book release event. We now move on to the book releases. We have 3 very special books. The first one is a special book. The second one is a conference abstract proceeding. And the third one is a research journal. And in the blessed presence of Puja Guruji, dignitaries, and the esteemed audience, we will be releasing all the 3 books today. The first one is a very special book that we have to release, that is Melpadur Mana, an architectural heritage, Adi Shankara Nilayam, the birth home of Sri Adi Shankaracharya. It is a book that gives idea about the visual narrative that captures the architectural beauty and cultural significance of Kerala's traditional heritage through Melpadur Mana. It showcases how the Mana reflects a harmonious blend of design, tradition, and lifestyle. This book, which is very special to all of us, will be released by Puja Guruji, Tejomayananji. I request the author of the book, architect Naveen Ravindran, to receive the first copy of Melpadur Mana from our Puja Guruji, Tejomayananji.
We also have the book of abstracts and keynote papers of the conference for the release. It is the compilation of all the abstracts of the presentations selected in this conference. Congratulations to all the contributors of the book. The book of abstracts will be released by Pooji Guruji and Professor Srinivas Varakedi. I request the editors of the book, Dr. Rajashekar Reddy and Dr. Vishaka Venkat, to receive the copy of the book of abstracts and keynote papers from Pooji Guruji and Professor Srinivasa Varakedi.
Next, we have a copy of the research journal published by SIF Shodha Sansthan. The name of the journal is Dimahi 2025. I request Dr. P.N. Sudarshanan, Director, SIF, to receive the copy of the journal from Professor Srinivasa Varakedi. Thank you very much. These publications reflect the intellectual depth of the conference and also its organizing institutions. We now come to the most sacred segment of the session, the Benediction. We all are blessed to have Pooja Guruji with us today. Pooja Guruji, Swami Chinmayananda, former head of Chinmaya Mission worldwide and a revered senior Acharya, is a distinguished Vedantic master known for his clarity, compassion, and global spiritual leadership. We also know that Swamiji is the founding chancellor of Chinmaya Vishwa Vidyapeeth deemed to be university, whose vision has contributed much to what we see around today. He began his academic career in physics before joining the Vedanta course at Sandipani Sadhanalaya, Mumbai, completing it in 1975. He was initiated into sannyasa in 1983 by Pooja Guruji. Following the Mahasamadhi of Swami Chinmayananda in 1993, he led Chinmaya Mission worldwide for over 2 decades, guiding its expansion across continents. A recipient of the Padma Bhushan in 2016, Guruji is widely respected for his teachings in Vedanta and his ability to connect with diverse audiences. Fluent in multiple languages such as English, Hindi, Marathi, and Sanskrit, and admired for his humility and warmth, he continues to inspire seekers around the world as our beloved Guruji. We would like to first felicitate Guruji, showing all our respect, honor, and love. I request Professor Gauri Mauli Guruji to felicitate our Guruji, Swami Chinmayananda, on behalf of everyone present in this hall. It is a great honor to invite Guruji to bless us with his divine words during this inauguration session.
Hari Om. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Hearty greetings to all present here. I do not have any scholarship I don't have any collar. This conference is about spirituality, education, patriotism, and the one who represents all this is our Param Puja Gurudev. I learned about spirituality from little babies, little children. If you look at these little babies, what you see, they are happy in themselves. And just being there, they spread so much of joy to all those who observe them. They do not do anything special to attract anyone or to impress anyone, just lying there. Even if eyes are closed, the parents will see how beautiful the child looks. And when you open the eyes, oh, he has opened the eyes. And when the baby starts crawling, standing, or even those words stammering, and then everyone is delighted. The child is not doing anything special, just being there in his own self and spreading joy. That is called spirituality. This baby doesn't do anything, but keeps everyone busy. Your household, they all are working, not as a sense of duty or a labor, just joy. Everybody is ready to do something for that child. Again, see, the parents loving their baby is one thing. If he has got any problem, parents loving the child is one thing, but even others who do not know that baby, they also get fascinated, and I think there's some problem. Why can't we take Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. So I was telling you, the essence of spirituality I understood by observing babies and children. These babies, they inspire everyone to work themselves, not do anything. The most important point is just being there, everything happens there. Again, they are very satisfied with little things. You know, if their stomach is full and they had good night's sleep, all is well with this world. Nothing more is required. I have seen little toys, whatever is given to them, they know how to entertain themselves. They do not need any kind of movies or entertainment of many things. Atma kridaha atmartihi alpa bhogena tushyati. All these are descriptions which are there in the Upanishads. All that we find in them. And all that I found in our Puja Gurudev. I remember once I was in our mission center in Maryland, Washington, that area. Gurudev was sitting, and so many devotees were there around. I was sitting in one corner, and one young lady university student, she came to me and she said, why all these people are making so much fuss about him? Because she was very new or whatever that way, she saw the crowd around him. What has he done? What he has achieved? Because all of them are just crowding near him. I said, what he did is, just as a bud opens up and becomes a flower, and doesn't have to send any invitation to anyone, and all bees come around. So what he has done is he has unfolded himself, his personality, and the fragrance that gone everywhere. He doesn't have to do anything. Do these flowers send any invitation? They are there as they are. Only we get only fascinated, attracted, and derive such great delight and joy. When a person unfolds like that, all virtues and all that are manifested. In Ramcharitmanas it is said, when a great devotee is there, a great person of spiritual eminence, all virtues come seeking him. He doesn't have to go seeking virtues. The virtues come to him. Just as a lake gets filled with water that which comes as sipping there. They don't have to go in search of that. That is the beauty. And then we find so much of work is accomplished through them. That is called very peculiar combination of sannyasa and yoga. Sannyasa, doing everything and still person is not doing anything. And yoga means being there, not doing, achieving everything. That is called sannyasa and yoga. The two sides of the same coin. And our Gurudev was a sannyasi and he was a yogi. Just by being there, he inspired everybody to achieve. And himself did so many things and still remained asakta, sarvakaryeshu, totally unattached. In him we find the essence of spirituality, essence of education. In the words of Swami Vivekananda, what is education? Manifesting divinity which is already there in you. That manifestation of divinity, that also we find in him. And what to talk of patriotism? In your Chinmaya Mission pledge, he has said that the devotion to the nation, that is the devotion to God of gods. That is what is. And then remember, this nationalism or this patriotism is not against anyone, because we want the peace, prosperity, happiness of the whole world. Otherwise, we become fanatic and only we think of ourselves, or only our nation. But it is not like that. Swamiji went everywhere. Sarva bhuta hite rata. That is the sign of a spiritually evolved person. Engaged in the welfare of all beings without any distinction and discrimination. So now here afterwards, when you look at a baby, when you look at a flower, just think and you will know what is spirituality. See, this subject is such, atra bahu vaktavyam asti. But I am not going to bore you. I will give my book to you tomorrow. And you read it. But today now, see, our Puja Gurudev's, we call birthday, Pragatya Din, isn't it? I have written Janmadinam, Aye Priya Sakhe for all children, but for Puja Gurudev, is only for Gurudev, not for anyone else. I will sing and you follow, and with that we'll conclude. Janma Shubha Dine Tava He Sadguru. Janma Shubha Dine Tava He Sadguru. Mudita Manasa Vai Tvam Namamahe. Mudita Manasa Vai Tvam Namamahe. Prarthayamahe Smaranamastute. Prarthayamahe Smaranamastute. Madhura Prerakam Sarvadardi. Madhura Prerakam Sarvadardi. Bhaktirastu no Nishchalatvai. Bhaktirastu no Nishchalatvai. Ishvare pare Bhakta Janepi. Ishvare pare Bhakta Janepi. So on this most auspicious day, Param Puja Gurudev, with delighted mind, we bow down to you again and again. We pray that may we always have your remembrance, which is very sweet and most inspiring, motivating. One more our request, may we have unwavering devotion for your lotus feet, a devotion for Bhagwan and his devotees. The heart be filled with this devotion. May his grace and blessings be with us all, and I wish this conference a great, grand success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Guruji. We offer our heartfelt gratitude for your profound blessings and guidance. Before we conclude, we'll have a short address by our Honorable Vice Chancellor and the President of the conference.
I just bought time from the Master of Ceremony here. I just wanted to acknowledge the presence of my predecessors, Professor Mahadevan. Could you please just stand and wave as the founding Vice Chancellor of CVV, Professor Nagaraj, who has come all the way from University of Maryland, Madam Gauriyamma, you were also there before me, and Professor Ashokan, who gave charge to me, and I think CVV has really grown big in last 10 years in its formative years, and really I'm grateful to them, and I'm sure that I will be doing my bit to take CVV to further heights. Thank you so much for coming here and blessing us. And I also want to acknowledge the presence of Shri Suresh Wadhwani ji, our managing trustee, and Suresh Mohan ji, our trustee. They are the guide to me, and I'm sure we are going to do wonders, and with Puja Gurudev ji's blessing, we will make sure that CVV is on the right path. Thank you so much, and I wish all of you a great success. Have a wonderful stay on our campus. It's a beautiful campus, upcoming campus, evolving campus, and we need all your suggestions also that how can we become better and better in times to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. With this, we conclude the inaugural session. We thank Puja Guruji, Professor Srinivasa Varakedi, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Ramesh Padniji, Professor Gauriji for your gracious presence. We also thank all our guests, presenters and participants of the International Conference. Thank you. Hari Om.
As the stage is set for the next session, kindly be seated for a few more time because we have a few important announcements for the participants which will ease our process and will be helpful for all of us. The complete conference schedule has been displayed at various locations across the venue and also has been shared with you on WhatsApp groups. We kindly request everyone to take a moment to go through it carefully. Participants are requested to be seated at least